Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stallings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderEX, and as always I am your host for Operation Recap, where I take some of the stories from Rainfall.com and I share them here on YouTube. And I do that because, this is what I've chosen as a job, and the saying, if you find a job you love, you never really work a day in your life. Which, we worked hard. We survived another E3, which is why I wanted to make that joke, because E3 is rough. We did our best to try to bring you guys as many of the stories as possible out of E3. There was a lot of news, and this week's recap is basically just, covering some of that. I'm just going to post like a link dump of things in the video description here. It's going to be kind of crazy. So, yeah. E3. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Bethesda, EA, Square Enix. Those were the big conferences. There was a PC conference as well. Did not get nearly as much screen time as possible. So, but the big players all came out swinging. Everyone had at least one thing that brought the attention to others. Nintendo talked about Star Fox, some more Xenoblade, making some rumbles with a Metroid game that's not a Metroid game that really got the goat of some people. Microsoft came out swinging with HoloGlass and basically enslaving everyone to the world that is VR. They were the only ones at the conference that were talking about VR that had an actual setup of what they were planning on doing with it. Sony comes out of the gate by resurrecting long-dead franchises. That was it. Their press conference was, we got Final Fantasy VII, we're backing Shenmue. We're done. Like that. They also had Last Guardian, which was also a project long forgotten, and long since thought dead. But everyone had something. So it was a huge event. Gave a lot of gamers hope, gave a lot of gamers reason to think that gaming is dying again. It was a mixed bag for some. I thought it was a good E3, but there was just so much to do. We had 3 of our own at E3 this year, and they did their best to put out as much hands-on content as possible. They sat there and they focused on what they could to get some really great stuff. So like I said, this video is just really going to be a link dump of go check out all of these articles of things that they did. The main things, we've got the recaps from the actual events, so that's... But then after that, there was a lot more clarification, like at the Sony event talking about Final Fantasy VII, Square came out at their event and talked a little bit more about it. And then they also talked about like a new Star Ocean game and and talking more about Kingdom Hearts 3, and they extrapolated a little bit more on their event than what Sony talked about on Final Fantasy VII on their event. So there was a little more, and then throughout the week there was more information given. Final Fantasy VII specifically of, like, is it going to be a complete remake? Is it going to be the exact same game, just better graphics, or are there going to be things changed? From the sound of things are going to have to change a little bit because they can't really do a one-to-one with just newer graphics. But there's a lot of nebulous responses because it's still a work in progress. So yeah, it was a major event, this E3. Between Final Fantasy VII and Shenmue, those are really just 2 things that a lot of old school gamers of my generation are just like, really? You guys are gonna do that? Go for it. So it was impressive. There was a lot of fewer newer titles. Like you have Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which I will say probably does target a younger demographic. So there was that. You also had newer franchises like Just Cause, and then you have brand new things like Horizon. So it was a very interesting experience, and hopefully next year I will get to go to E3 and be the one taking video on the the convention floor to show off and be like, I'm here. So go check out all the articles of the stuff that we did. I'm rambling at this point because there really was so much that there's no way to concisely cover E3, and I'm doing what I can, but just coming across as word vomit. So go check out the articles that I'm going to post in the video description. We've got a ton of them. If you have any questions about something that was at E3, post them in the video description. I will pass them along to the staff members who were there and get an answer and see if we can answer some of your E3 related questions from people who were at the event. Maybe they got hands-on on something that you were interested in and you can't find any information on it. And yeah, we'll do our best to answer E3 related questions. So I'm going to go, and I will see you guys next week for another recap that will not all be E3 because we are a week out. So I will catch you guys then. Till then, later everyone.